When a man returns home from a work trip, his wife finds a note in his clothes in a child's handwriting that reads, "I miss you, Dad." Fuming with wrath, she decides to confront him about it, and the reality shocks her to the core. Melissa spent the morning in a bubble of happiness, surprising herself with how cheery she was. She couldn't wait to tell her husband Eric that they were expecting their first child. Melissa had prepared a surprise box for him in their bedroom, complete with the test results and a pair of little socks. "He'll be so happy," she thought to herself as she sat in the living room waiting for him to return from his business trip. A few moments later, as the doorbell rang, Melissa's heart started racing. She composed herself before answering the door and was thrilled to see Eric back. "Welcome home, honey," she said, hugging him. "I really missed you." "Same here, darling," he replied hurriedly, sending her his luggage. "I'm sorry, Mel, but I need to catch up with a friend. It's kind of urgent, but I'll be back by afternoon. See ya." He walked away, leaving Mel dumbfounded. Did he just leave? Like he didn't even come in, she thought? Melissa stood on the front porch, her smile gone and defeated. She'd been waiting to surprise him for so long. How could Eric just leave like that? With a heavy heart, she carried his luggage inside and sank onto the couch. How could he do that to us? We're gonna have our first child. I was so excited about the surprise. That was such bad timing, she grumbled as she unpacked his suitcase. Melissa decided that since her surprise would have to wait, she would just do the laundry. She unpacked Eric's bag and carried the laundry basket to the living room to collect the clothes for washing. She took out all of Eric's trousers and shirts and began checking their pockets before piling them for washing. In one of the pockets, she found a crumpled note. Melissa straightened the paper to see what it was and was surprised by the message written on it saying, "I love you, Dad." The message was scribbled in a child's handwriting along with a drawing of a man and woman. What is this? Does he have a second family? Melissa's eyes welled up with tears as she stared at the note, and she felt her heart skip a beat. She got up from the couch and began pacing across the room in anxiety. She feared her happily married life was shattering, but she needed answers. So when Eric got home that afternoon, she confronted him. "I'm pregnant, Eric. You're going to be a father, and this is certainly not how I imagined the surprise reveal would be. What the hell in the world is this supposed to mean, Eric?" She screamed teary-eyed as she tossed the note on the floor. "Now don't pretend you don't have a clue about it because I found it in your shirt pocket." As Eric picked up the note, his eyes widened and Melissa noticed a strange fear in them. "Look, honey, I can really explain this, okay? Well, that's exactly what I want, Eric. So tell me, who's the secret child you fathered behind my back? Have you found yourself another wife? You know that's a crime because we're still married now, or do you wish to divorce me now that you have another family?" "Mel, please have a seat," Eric urged, holding her hands, but she jerked her hand back enraged. "Don't you dare touch me. Explain that goddamn note." All right, relax," he sighed, placing the note on the table. "Thing is, Mel, I have a son from my first wife who's no longer alive." "What? What did you say?" Melissa slumped on the couch, unable to take Eric's confession. "How come you never told me? We've been married for over a year, Eric, and you're hiding things from me?" "I'm sorry," Eric apologized. "Her name was Amelia. We were married for a year when we had a son, but Amelia wasn't who I thought she was. She cheated on me with my best friend and took my son away from me. Very recently, I learned that she and my best friend both passed away in a car crash and my son was left alone. His name is Kyle and he's staying with my ex-mother-in-law. This trip was actually just an excuse to see him, Mel. I apologize for keeping all of this from you, but I was afraid I'd lose you if you found out the truth. I should have been honest with you. I'm really sorry." Melissa didn't utter a word and picked up the note from the living room table. She unfolded it and glanced at the drawing. She realized the woman was Kyle's grandmom and the man in the drawing was Eric, while the little child's hand they were holding was Kyle. "How long has he been without parents? How old is he?" she asked suddenly after a brief pause. Eric looked at her confused. "What, you mean Kyle?" She nodded, her gaze fixed on the note. "It's been a month," Eric replied. "His grandmother was trying her best to raise him, but he really misses me and wants to be here. He's just 4. I don't know how to tell him that I have another family now." "All right," Melissa said. "We'll adopt him. We'll give him a home. I'm ready to accept Kyle." Eric was stunned. "Are you serious? I mean, do you really need it?" She nodded. "I can't hold Kyle responsible for what his mother did. Yes, you were wrong to keep the truth from me, but I can't see a small child growing up without a family when his dad is alive. And I can't let him suffer because of his mother's mistakes. You should have trusted me more, Eric. I'm disappointed." She got up from the couch and returned with a gift box she'd planned for him. "Open it." What is this?" Eric inquired, confused, and began to unwrap it. When he discovered the test results in a pair of baby socks, his tears didn't stop falling. "Is this… Don't tell me." "I'm pregnant, Eric. You're going to be a father, and this is certainly not how I imagined the surprise reveal would be." "I'm so happy for us, Mel. I'll do my best, trust me. I'll be the best father to our baby, I promise." Melissa was angry with Eric, but she forgave him, and having let go of her rage, she lovingly held him. "I know, and I'm happy that our child will have a big brother, but promise me you won't keep anything from me again. You need to trust me enough, Eric, please." "I'm sorry, babe, I promise, and I love you," he replied, returning her hug. "And thank you for accepting Kyle," he whispered. 9 months later, Eric and Melissa welcomed a beautiful baby girl named Layla, who had wonderful parents to love her and a lovely big brother. And this way, their family blossomed from 2 to a loving family of 4. Sometimes having a big heart and embracing things can lead to a beautiful beginnings, and Melissa knows it well. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up and consider sharing it with someone who may find it interesting. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.